Hello and welcome to Brother Earth Healing. I'm very excited to be recording this video as this is our very first intuitive video session for YouTube. I just wanted to give a few words of, first of all, just thanks for tuning in, and I hope that what we share today be of support. I'm just starting this channel because I'm really interested in like serving and offering like an outlet for first of all the work that I do as like a medium, and as well as like a healer, and work with energy, and with the training that I've had as well. I was ordained as a Buddhist monk and trained with the Thich Nhat Hanh community as well. So just this culmination of things coming together kind of has made me feel like wanting to offer something valuable to the community at large, especially during this time. So I'm just gonna kind of give a little bit more of an intro. Today we're gonna be working with air energy, so we're gonna do this a little bit differently than maybe other tarot channels, and this isn't gonna be a strictly tarot channel. I will offer other practices and other real cool things as well, but the way we're going to do it is I'm going to offer readings for all 4 signs. So air signs will be on Tuesdays, will be up on Tuesdays. Water signs will be up on Wednesdays. Earth signs will be up on Thursdays, and fire signs will be up on Fridays. With that being said, though, we all have these qualities in and around us. So tuning in to each video, each session, maybe offer like another piece of the puzzle for your current situation. Just kind of channeling the energy around what's going on in the world as well. That's how I'm going to break up the episodes. And so there's going to be in the beginning of the month, like a bit of a forecast, some stuff to take note of. And then we're going to do a session with all 4 signs again at the end of the month, and kind of offering like a little bit of concluding thoughts, and just kind of channeling whatever needs to come through for the end of the month to wrap things up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again for tuning in. It's a real treat to do this kind of work. So I'd just like to start with some gratitude and some prayers. So I'd like to offer gratitude and thanks for ancestral lineages and lines, both with our blood ancestry as well as our spiritual ancestry and heritage. Just offering big gratitude. I'm going to ask for some support and clarity, and offering messages that will be of great healing, of great love, of great support to all of you tuning in. Hopefully a little bit for me as well. Thank you. We're going to take a few breaths together, settling into the energy, tapping into air. Just relaxing and resting, nothing to do. I will do all of the work for us. And that feels very good. I cannot tell you how excited I am to start doing this. This has been a long time coming, starting up this channel and doing this kind of work online. I'm very grateful. Okay, we got a couple of things wanting to come out here. So I did sit earlier before recording and do a little bit of a check-in and intuitive check-in with the collectively. And it's funny, I actually got this image of this card while I was sitting. This is Knight of Swords here. You can see it pretty well, I think. Yeah, I kind of asked, like, air elements can take on many different kinds of many forms, right? So, air can be anything, as gentle as a breath, and then again, as strong as, a tornado. And so I kind of asked what the quality is. What is air, maybe air signs feeling right now? What's the quality right now? And I felt like what I got was kind of, actually with all signs, it's a bit, it's very active and maybe even chaotic in some ways, which is, yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense with what's going on right now. So I actually felt like feminine. I saw this card and I felt normally Knight of Swords would be like a male, but I felt it as very feminine. But definitely this like take charge, wanting to take charge. Yeah, very done with the situation. Yeah, definitely like a lot of feeling of like, yeah, wanting justice for a situation. Yeah. I see also have Seven of Swords right here. And so I'm interpreting this, what I'm getting actually is feeling robbed. Yeah, like robbed of justice. I'm actually surprised justice card didn't come out right away. And keep hearing that, justice. And then we have Tower. Yeah. I knew going into this was going to be addressing everything going on right now. Yeah, it just feels, it doesn't feel so grounded. This feels like an energy that's really rooted in, yeah, anger. Like the feeling of being robbed feels very angry to me. And it feels like that's inciting a lot of anger. And while like Knight of Swords is, yeah, like it's definitely this rushing, this going into battle, and I'm feeling like it's a little bit blind. I feel like it's a little bit like reactive, like very, very reactive, as opposed to like a coming back and like no reflection is what I feel. No reflection. Yeah. And so I think this is a very like natural, like it feels like a very natural reaction to like what's going on right now. And then, yeah, that kind of confirms it here. Yeah. I flip the deck over, and bottom of the deck I had Chariot reversed. Yeah, I'm feeling like this is about, yeah, like a lack of balance, and just lack of balance. Or so I don't read tarot like strictly traditionally, although I do know the traditional. Yeah, I do know like all of the traditional meanings of the cards, and but I'm also very intuitive and able to tap in easily, so I kind of work that way. It seems like it's much more clear when I work that way. Yeah, so I want to kind of look into this a little bit more, and I feel like this is giving me what's going on for many people. And so I also kind of want to ask, and I also kind of feel like there's this question, like how can we go forward like in a more grounded and more productive. Productive is what I'm really feeling. Like, how do we do this more productively? And so I think the answers also here. It's kind of right in front of us, right? Balance. We see the qualities that, like, what I'm feeling is like, we see the qualities that incite this reactive energy, right? Like this reactiveness. And so it's clear. It's like, what is maybe in some ways like the opposite of what we're experiencing. So like I would say, I would feel like where we might be feeling robbed, the antidote would be like giving. How can I give? That's beautiful. So it's like in these hardships, it's in the answers that we're looking for is in the negativity that we're experiencing. It's right there in front of us. I'm getting that really, really strongly. It's right there in front of us, and we need to like kind of flip the way we see our situation, the situation. Like, it's like you see one side of the coin, like I see like a coin, like a quarter, like you see like the head, right? And then yeah, like you flip it around and it's like, oh, the answer is like right there. It's like, that's what I'm looking for. So I want to go a little bit more deeply and kind of get a little bit more concrete. Okay. Yeah. I feel like the message is very clear, like this reactive energy. I think in many cases, those that are experiencing that know that it's not bringing about that which they desire. I think that that's known, like not, I think for many people, it's like not a subconscious thing. But it's like, what do I do? You know, not everybody has had like the opportunity, you know, and the support to learn ways to, you know, deal with their anger and with what comes up and what's going on. I mean, it's very intense. And so I'm getting like it's okay. Like, it's okay. You know, don't beat yourself up for not like responding the way maybe like you would want to initially, you know, like be gentle. Like, it's okay. It's okay to feel what you feel. And the direction I feel is not what the issue is, like the direction, but it's the way in which, right? It's the way in which you're deciding to go about it that is causing the friction, because there's this knowing that it's just not the right way to go about it. It's not addressing beyond not addressing the core of the issue. It's yeah, this almost pain also of like acting against what you know and feel to a degree. And so there's an invitation to like become more gentle and Yeah, I'm getting like in it, like an innocence, like there's this suggestion to be oh, okay, I was getting like children to see, yeah, like, you know, to see. And this is something that I really love practicing. It's a really beautiful practice, but like really seeing the people that are causing the suffering, the perceived like enemy, right? Or the perceived aggressor, as a child, you know, as someone who's suffering and who doesn't know better, who is doing the best that they can, what they may think is right, as kind of maybe crazy as that may seem, or but really getting to a point where there is deep understanding, and there's also I think the advice is also to really like want to understand. I think that I'm feeling that is a really key part of this message, is that want to understand, really want to understand, because that is so liberating. That is the key to being free, to freeing yourself of, yeah, this sense of being robbed, of being angry, you know. Once you understand, oh, this is the product of someone suffering, a product of ignorance, right? Ignorance and suffering. And there's this freedom. There's this lightness, which is I'm just getting really strong air from that. So, and this is part of the message. It's like the direction is not the problem, like I said before. It's the because that's the quality of air as well, right? To go, like to cut through, like, you know. So it's more about harnessing the quality of air that's yeah, like able to flow through, and to kind of yeah, like understand the difference, right, between the more aggressive, and when to harness which energy too, is what I'm feeling. I feel like maybe a certain case, particular case, there is there's this knowing that certain actions against, you know, yeah, certain actions, you know, it's just not the right way to confront the situation at hand. But there's pressure from others to kind of jump on that bandwagon, even though maybe, yeah, it might not feel, it doesn't feel right. You know, it's not the right thing to do. You know, it's not the right way. And so there's a feeling of like abandonment, like on both sides, right? So there's a feeling of abandonment on one side. Is like, oh, this person is not taking this seriously. This person is not, you know, yeah, like down with what's going on, you know, and with fighting for freedom, right? And justice for a situation. And then there's another side that's feels abandoned, and is like, hey, well, hey, like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody acting so crazy? Like, why is everybody, yeah, like, you know, I thought that we were, I thought we were fighting for, I thought we were trying to, you know, be free, right? I thought we were really trying to do the right thing here, right? Like, I thought we were on the same side, kind of a feeling. And maybe like it turns out, yeah, I just have like very different ways of expressing that. And I feel like in that, whatever, if that is a situation for somebody, or for some people, I'm feeling like the advice is to, hold on, let me pull one more. yeah, I feel like the advice in a big way is to like, just, you know, just not be, yeah, just not be fooled, you know? Yeah, it's like, you know, right? You already know, and you have clarity about, you know, the right action. And if not, you know, perfect clarity, you know, obviously, we don't always have like perfect clarity. The direction is clear. And at a certain point, yeah, I mean, we all have to make decisions that are not always favorable, especially with people that we care about or are close to, that we care for a lot and you know, mean a lot to us, or even or communities, you know, in which that's the case. And yeah, it's like this feeling of we just have to. It's not like, I don't necessarily want to say like stand your ground. I think in essence, yeah, like that is kind of what it is about. But there's a quality of just allowing, right? Like allowing others to express the way that they feel they need to express, and not trying to force or control or manipulate the situation, but to really like allow. And I think that that also extends for oneself, right? To allow that authenticity and that clarity to be expressed for yourself, whether or not that is recognized by others, whether or not that is acknowledged or appreciated by others. Because I feel like another thing that's coming through is like the moment that you abandon that clarity that you have, yeah, it's like, yeah, that's the moment you lose your peace. You lose, yeah, that's the moment where it's kind of like this giving in, right? And that's certainly not always like the easiest thing to do. And so I want to get some more advice around that. I've seen the moon come out a couple times here. Up. Again, wow, okay. Yeah. And so there's this, yeah, there's this, I feel really strongly, there's this certain people, certain groups feel very left out in the cold, feel abandoned from the point of view that, from the point of view of like having a little bit more clarity and wanting to address and really address like the roots of a situation. And there's this feeling of abandonment, being left out in the cold. Like, you know, why aren't others kind of on board, acting more mindfully? Maybe there's this feeling of, oh, that group, I would have expected more from that person, from that group, to act more mindfully, more skillfully. Yeah. So there's this real yeah, just this fighting. And I think that what I'm feeling too is that it's very clearly a reflection of the internal climate, each of our internal climates. And just so clear how it's like there's nowhere left to go. There's nowhere left to go. And so I'm feeling that that's an internal feeling. There's nowhere left to go internally in terms of the fight, right? So there's like this fight happening, this internal conflict. And it's like there's nowhere left to fight inside, so I must do it. I must enact it outside. Maybe that will get me where I want to be, right? So it's playing out this anger that's unable to be resolved, or there's a lack of tools or ability to resolve internally. And I think that there's a lot of wounding ancestrally that's coming up right now for many people. I'm just getting that as a human experience, human ancestry, human ancestry, that there is this deep wounding, and I feel like it has a lot to do with this anger, fear, and it's also very clear, this recurring, right? This sense of we maybe haven't learned as much from history, our human history, as we should be, as we can be, as what is possible, right? I'm getting that really strongly. And this need to reflect on past, like victories, like past victories and triumphs, and what has worked in the past, and what hasn't. I feel like there's this real lack of reflection. I'm really glad this is coming out, because I feel like this is very subconscious, it's very deep, it's very ingrained in our subconscious, right? This fight, this fear, particularly towards in societies or established, like in governments, where there's been really severe oppression. And so I feel like that is a really big thing that's coming up right now. Show me. What is this about? Need to pull some more cards here. Need a little bit more clarity here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm feeling, so again, I'm feeling this could be very well for on an individual level, for certain individuals, as well as in organizations, organizationally. There's this big, huge sense of responsibility, kind of questions, everything, coming from all sides. There's this real, real sense of weight, responsibility for others. Someone who is very well recognized. I'm getting a political figure. really strongly, yeah. So what is this about? Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah, very clearly feminine. Yeah, I'm seeing like, so I'm getting a few things coming through. So one is that getting in touch with feminine qualities, the stability and the insight from like this, you know, softer feminine energy, which for me is like really speaking to coming back to ourselves and that reflection, right? The softness, which is really, really needed, and is very much like the key to obtaining a balanced mindset, an internal balance. And I'm also getting someone, it's funny, like I can't, I'm not like seeing or hearing a name or anything. Barbara, actually. Barbara. But I'm feeling like it's like a political figure or somebody like that. And I'm sure, and it may be relating to someone who's not necessarily a political figure, but somebody maybe who's in like some kind of like governmental position, like a city council member or governess or something like that. Feminine for sure, really strong. And I'm feeling like there's this, yeah, kind of like a rallying almost around this person. Or like, yeah, a sense of like coming to that person for relief, right? And I do feel like this is a very positive like person, very somebody who is really very capable of offering stability. Maybe even for like presidency or something like that. That's what I'm kind of getting too. I'm getting something political for sure, really clearly. Yeah, I'm just seeing like a lot of balance, a lot of stability with around this person, and that being brought into like the world, into the community through this person. Yeah, like someone like, yeah, really, really clearly, like just someone who has like the golden key, like the golden, yeah, really strongly, really, really strongly. Santa Barbara? I don't know. Barbara, something like that. Yeah, I just see this person like really lighting the way. Really, really, really lighting the way. I'm getting this really strongly. Yeah. I mean, like, definitely, I'm feeling a lot of, yeah, like air and water. And water pretty strongly. Also, water pretty strongly. But I'm seeing so much balance, really so much balance. Not only in the cards like that are being laid out, but like what I'm feeling from them, but also like just, yeah, just a lot of balance. That's really, really interesting. So if you know anybody like that, please leave a comment or something. I'm not as active in like the political scene like that, but I'd be very, very interested if anybody got another piece of that. I know there's a lot of intuitive folks that tune into these kinds of channels and stuff like this. So please, 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 I would love to hear what's going on with that. I'm going to close out by just pulling a few more cards for general advice and some stuff. Yeah, I want to just ask for like a lot of clarity for some advice following through this month. It feels like it's going to be a very intense one, and it'd be nice to like have some support. Is this not what I've been saying this whole time? It's not really me. Not too much me saying it. It's just coming through. Seer, see beyond the current situation. I'm feeling like really deeply like going in, right? And those of us who are more like intuitively guided or, you know, inclined to use those gifts, you know, to really, really use those gifts. Yeah, I think this is important too. It's like the sun. This is one of my favorite decks, despite it not being like a traditional tarot. It's like a oracle deck, I guess. It's called, what's it called? Angels and Ancestors. It's just like beautiful art. I love it. Enjoy, yeah, the sun. So we need to be able to see, like, so where the current situation is like maybe really dark, we need to be able to have balance and see the importance of what's going on, have gratitude for what's going on as a catalyst for positive change as much as possible. Yeah, and just not to be stuck on either side, right? Like not to be stuck in the dark, on the dark side, right? Not to be stuck on the light side, having that balance. And I think that that's coming out, particularly sun, because a lot of folks are feeling very caught in the only in dark, on the dark side there. I'm just gonna take all of these. This really wants to come out, okay. Okay. I'm feeling this is, I'll start with what's coming out for collective, for the collective. Yeah, I'm just feeling like there's a real need for us to collectively move in this in a new direction, right? And the key to that is, which has really been the theme of this reading, is like shifting your perspective, like shifting the perspective away from what we personally have rehearsed, shifting the perspective away from what we are being told, and really going inward to recognize, right? Going inward to see beyond the outside situation, right? Like going from the perspective of the outside situation, right? Like going inward to like like gain that insight that you know naturally springs up when our mind is clear, and when there's balance, internal balance, right? It's like always about starting from within, and so this is leading us into this card. It's a really beautiful card, kind of unlocking the magic within. And I'm kind of feeling like that's also kind of speaking to this internal, like it is magic. It's magic when like the first time you sit, the first time you really meditate and you go deep and you're like, wow, oh my God, I feel so clear, you know. How has it been that I've never experienced that, you know? Like that is the magic. And I feel like in a big way, and so this is another message specifically for people who are coming into their spirituality, and folks, who are coming into like recognizing their intuition and intuitive qualities and abilities, is I feel like that's a very specific message also for that group of people. I'm feeling like younger people who are experiencing this coming out of the shell, I guess. Coming out of their shell. Yeah. This is beautiful too. Trust in higher powers, higher forces. Yeah. I'm of the belief that nothing happens on accident. Yeah. And I think that that's also another pointer to, you know, this element of trust in recognizing that, like, it's not all bad. It's not all, it's not all darkness. I think that is something that a lot of people are stuck in right now, or having difficulty with. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just close here. But yeah, I do, very, very grateful for a chance to share. And I'll be very grateful if maybe one or two people get, some benefit from this. That will make me very happy on its own. And just thank you again. If you feel if you feel like supporting a little bit, you can leave a like on the YouTube video or leave a comment, and be happy to get back to you and have some conversation or sharing. I also do offer like private sessions doing, I guess right now, remote healing work, and other like intuitive services and tarot and stuff like that. And I've been teaching meditation and Qigong for quite a while as well. So if you're interested in that, then feel free to reach out. Or just reach out and say hi as well. So thank you again. And many, many, many blessings until next time. Thank you.